Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another Beyblade video on Dum Club. Today we're doing a little bit DIY video. So lately I purchased this Hydra Poseidon and I was thinking, would I be able to put on Takara Tomy gear, actually metal gears on it, so to make it heavier and actually competitive. So I tried it on and figured out that there are parts that I should be able to modify and will allow me to do that. I actually did a little bit of research and found this video on YouTube that has a tutorial. So I watched it once and then tried myself without watching during the process, and it's actually not too hard. So I'm gonna share my little findings here with you guys. If you want to customize some Hasbro exclusive DB Beyblade Quaddrive, whatever that you want to call them, to become Metal Gear compatible and thus harder to burst and also more weight. So on the BU blade, right, there would be 4 little bumps that you can take out, which allows the gear to completely stick to the bottom of the blade, which is these little ridges that I'm cutting off with my X-Acto knife. So be very careful with the process. Obviously you can use many tools, probably some like clippers or even sanding, grinder, whatever you want to use, but with me I decided to use X-Acto knife because that's what I have on hand, and also the Hasbro material is kind of like a really hard rubber, so it's pretty easy to slice through, and I can get to all the corners using X-Acto knife. But as you see, I'm cutting off the 4 ridges at the bottom, which will allow me to put on a gear. Make sure to cut it as close to the flat surface as possible, because if there's still some remaining ridges, the metal gear would not be completely able to stick to it, and thus you will not be able to put on the DB core on it correctly and clip it in. Yeah, so now I try to put on the DB core, and then I realize it's not flat, which leads to me looking to it and found out there is actually a little ridge on the DB core as well. That is for right rotation and left rotation, where it actually is not flat on both sides. If you look at it, there's a little ridge on each side, so that wouldn't allow me to stack the DB core on the Hasbro DB blade. So what I have to do is that I use a Sharpie or any kind of marker you can use, or even if you remember it right, I basically just color out the part that I need to cut out, and then I measured it a little bit to the actual ridge on the DB core for the thickness that I have to cut out. And after marking it, I would be able to just use my X-Acto knife to just cut through it to make enough space for that ridge to fit under the DB blade. So what happened there is that I didn't cut the part large enough, because I was trying to be careful to not cut too much, which is also important. So make sure you don't cut off too much, because if that's the case, then your thing would be like swinging the whole time. So make sure just cut the right amount of plastic off. So I also tried a dual rotation DB core such as Achilles to fit on it, and it works out like I anticipated. So this mod will allow a Beyblade to actually become dual rotation. And let's do a quick weight test. We have Cyclone Belial, it's around 62 grams, and then I put on a Nexus and a Wave Dash just to stay to the Hasbro design, and it's actually heavier than Takara Tomy. So with this modification, it's actually quite competitive at this point. So yeah, hope you guys like it.